his last 2 exhibitions. I took him to Glen Rose and to Parker County Arena. He worked his turns really nice at both. I would say the main thing right now that I'm going to need to work on with him is getting him to go. I guess probably because it's been a bit of a process to get him trained, I haven't really, taught him how to run as much. In some of my other videos, I've done like, high loping around the outside of the arena, making him move forward that way and stuff, but he hasn't necessarily really figured out how to run yet. He turns the 3rd barrel and I'm like, okay, go ahead. And he's like, what do you mean go ahead? He's kind of almost looking back at me like, no, he's kind of scotchy on the way home. So I am going to need to breeze him eventually, probably pretty soon. And a lot of times when I'm really focusing on reach with one, I'll do it off of the pattern in like the 4 corner exercise. That's what I've been probably doing the most with him. That way I can focus on trying to get him to reach without there being a barrel there. That feels good. He reaches better to the right than he does to the left. He's where he'll kind of shorten that front end stride a little too much and kind of give me a little hobby horse lope. So when I feel that, I'll almost kind of push one's shoulders around because I think that he's getting a little bit bound up in his shoulders. So right now, when I come down into that smaller circle, I'm asking for a little bit less nose. I'm not counter arcing around the turn, but I'm kind of pushing that shoulder like that. Good. Just kind of using that outside rein to square that up just a little bit. Good. That feels good. That's something to keep in mind. If you feel like your horse is getting too like hobby horsey feeling, like where they're not extending their stride, they're kind of doing this with their front end, like up more than out. They get to like coming up with it. I say a hobby horse, it's kind of like a carousel. Those horses come up and down instead of forward and reaching. So that's what it feels like. And I want that forward reach. So a lot of times to me, that's because they get too up here like this and they can't reach. They do this. So I'll push that shoulder back under them a little bit and extend that front end stride. I need them to pull with that front end around the turn. So that's something a lot of times we just have to go back and forth with. Also, if you have a horse that naturally over bridles, like I have a 2026 horse that I'm riding that has a tendency to almost stay behind the bridle. It's really pretty. Like she looks like she's just super collected all the time, but I'm not asking her to bridle like that. She'll kind of just do it naturally. And those kind, like if you get them too round, they will do the same thing. It's the same concept. So I find myself almost kind of pushing the shoulder around the turn so it's more like this than this, because it kind of gets that extended reach in the front end.